Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to migrate our Vitejs e-commerce website to Nextjs e-commerce websites. As you remember, that's the e-commerce website which we have been built using a Vitejs, and it's a fully functional e-commerce website. You can feel free to go within this website, which the link it will be in the description, and you can just go about there and open your account or register your account, then start popping up other parameters. You can explore a bit here. It's a good application to ensure all the properties. Even you just go and see all categories, you can see the categories which is fetching up from the database which hosted in Firebase. So these applications fully created within the Vite, and that's the repo for these applications. But today what we're gonna do, we're gonna migrate it into Nextjs application. As you see, we have two separate folder. One is for the admin, one is for the client. But if we are going to use the Nextjs, we can probably mix two portions into a single applications. So first thing, how you can have that application within your app, within your local host, you can just need to from here clone it, right? But also you can go through that description. Here is also putting a nice little description that clone the project from repo cd into admin directory, make npm, and for the npm for the client. And this is two separate projects, is just giving you idea how you can run when you are using npm or yarn or pnpm. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just copy this portion, and from here, that's the empty folder I have been taken. I will open my terminal on it. So after opening a terminal, so let's just okay, so let's minimize that one. And so feel free to explore a bit, it's very cool. So I'm gonna make that git clone and then paste that command. So within this entry, it's already just get the clone. As you see, the supergear yt is available. I'm gonna cd into that project yt, so yt, and I'm gonna open it within my code editor. Okay, that's my project. If you roll back to the admin, and also if you roll back to the client, you see the two separate projects we have been dealing with here. The admin is simply dealing with that Node.js, and it's the modular version there. And also for that our client version, we have that vitejs to run all our functionality. So first, let's run a bit our application to see how it's look like. But before going to do that, you need to configure some of the parameter. If you just go in the source, in the lib, and firebase.ts, you need to get back this configuration from Firebase. Okay, otherwise your application will collapse. You need to create a Firebase application, and then you need to generate these keys for the Firebase config key, API or domain, project ID, storage bucket, messaging sender ID, and app ID. So I have that key already. I will just go and fetch it from my previous application, but feel free to get those key, otherwise it will not work. And how you can do it, I will give the link in the description how you can create this application from the scratch. And of course, if you are feeling you are learning something new, like the video and subscribe the channel. So first thing first, let's put ls. You see, we are in that client portion. So I'm gonna make cd we're in the root directory. I'm gonna go within the client portion and write pnpm I to install all the dependencies. I'm using pnpm. If you're using the npm, just put same command npm I, then it will install all the parameter. If you're using the yarn, just put yarn, and feel free to remove that, depend on your preference. pnpm keep it, npm remove it, yarn remove it. That's it. So I'm gonna just grab those properties, and let's just roll back to our admin. cd should be in admin, and also the same parameter, same command, pnpm I, to install all the dependencies. So while it's installing the dependencies, I think in my client side is already installed. So let's just hit it will be pnpm. Let's run pm dev to run within our development server. And now here, you need to configure one more properties, is that as you see the config.ts file, ts file is the root file. So we are not going to run in production, we will run in local server. Okay, so it will run in the local and also in the admin. I'm gonna start my local server, should be pnpm start. to start my local server. So now as you see, my local server is working, my local host is working. So if I go in the local host, it should be for the bit, it is 5173, and also I'm gonna run my local host 8000, which is server will be run there. Okay. Okay, I'm messing around something. It's in the client. Okay, localhost 5173. Okay, it's there. It's just taking a bit of time. As you see, all the thing is coming here. It's in my localhost, and I'm using that localhost to grab this from that my localhost 8000 from my server. So now for every actions, I am just going back here in the admin and pulling those all other properties. But how I can do it within the same project, creating the routes, these routes I'm going to create here in my client. How we can do that? To implement that one, first we need to migrate our application from vitejs to Nextjs. So how we can migrate the application? It's a simple procedure. Let's go to Nextjs and Control K to search. I will just get that migrate. So once you see the migrate from vit here is available, let's click on migrate from vit, and here you can find a demo regarding how you need to switch or why you need to switch. There is so many things properly is mentioning there, network waterfalls, and best thing is for me having the middleware and built-in optimizations, and also for the client-side properties and server-side properties. So in Nextjs there is a client-side facilities is there, by which your all the components will be transferred into server-side application. But whenever you want to use the client-side, you need to just grab that use client. That's it. So let's follow the migration step. I need to install these properties in my client application. So let's go. Now all the work I'm gonna do within my client side. Put ls cd client, and here I'm gonna install my next add latest properties. So when I install that, if I roll back to my package, I'm gonna close the admin. In the package it should install. Let's see. Okay, that's the package. No, it's not yet. It's still installing. So let it install. And how we need to configure that? As you see, after installing, I need to create a next config.mjs file in my routes directory. So if I go back here, this is my route, right? Here I need to create one file, and that is that next config.mjs. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this parameter and I'm gonna paste it here, and I will clean up this too, which is not really mandatory right now. So that's the one procedure. Okay, so what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna close my application from there, otherwise it will start crying. You see, now it's running on localhost 5173, right, as the vit application. So later on, once we're gonna start our application, it should run localhost 3000 as a Nextjs application. So we're gonna do that trick. So here, and of course the link, it will be in the description for that Git repository. Feel free to clone it, and also put a star mark here. Once you're coming here, it will be really a give percentage to people to reach in my application here. So feel free to start it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do after this step, there is another step. You update the TypeScript configuration. So I need to update the TypeScript configuration. If you're using the TypeScript, you need to update your tsconfig.json. If you see here, tsconfig.json, that's the file we're talking about. This file I need to update. Okay, what I need to update, okay, change. Okay, so remove the project preference tsconfig.node.js. So they are talking about that. First I'm going to remove this one, which not required. Then I'm going to configure this portion. So how, there is a code here, you can go and grab that code and it will be fine with that. So let's just grab that code. Okay, I'm going to remove all from here, paste this latest code. Okay, and anything change should be there. Okay, we target it, leave is okay, and then I think it's fine. It's quite good. And also I need to configure one more properties, the path properties, which I'm going to include later, or I can include here right now. Otherwise later on once you're gonna deploy our application, it's gonna start crying. So I'm gonna define the path, so we will get the import, all import as @import. Okay, so done. And let's see what else is going to be done. Create the root layout. So we need to create a layout file, right? Otherwise with the layout, you see the layout should be an app directory. So what I'm gonna do, within the source, I'm gonna create a directory, should be app, and within that directory I'm gonna create a layout.tsx. So now let's roll back here. I'm gonna just grab those, or you can see it will be giving more properties, so that will be my root layout. So let's copy that and paste it here. So you see the my application and chart set, this is not required right now in the latest one. Also this head is not required, metadata not required. This is the okay, why is providing, but I think it's not required. Yeah, oh, that's the one, because those other properties is not required right in today's application, as you see. And I think they also breaking it down. You see the meta, they are putting it in top layer, so also I think that will be the perfect one. So again, I'm gonna remove that, and now this is the perfect blend of the applications. So what I'm dealing it here right now, we have a perfect combination here. So if you see, I'm gonna just replace this title, so it will be online business partner generated by create next app, and it's just same parameter, or you can just also change the description if you wish for. So now the div is getting the root div. I believe nowadays it's getting the root, because within the body we will just grab the layout. Let's see, further configuration is there. Yeah, nowadays in our new setup on that, we can just simply go and grab the children as the body. No need to provide the div also. Okay, so after that we need to have one page, should be page.tsx or fce. That page should contain the home page, so it will be home page. Okay, save. So now we done the setup for our application. It's time to run our application. Before going to run the application, I want to go back in the package. As you see in the package, it's running the bit configuration, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this portion. Okay, I'm gonna remove that dev, should be, it will be next dev, and the build, it should be also going to get that next build, and the ESLint should be next lint, and I'm not requiring the preview. I'm gonna grab that start properties, should be next start. So now if everything going proper and perfectly, let's see just a migration process here. I think that will work, that should be done. I'm gonna run that command is for that pnpm run dev, or pnpm dev, it will give the same. So see, it's started, and you see in the localhost 3000. Okay, tsconfig file is strict, mode is set false by, okay, don't worry about that. If I just open the application, let's see if it's running or not. I'm gonna close the other server. It will take a bit of time to compile for the beginning setup, but later on it gonna get this speed. Okay, and here also one more properties. You see the vit.config.js, which is not required right now. I'm gonna remove that one, which is not necessary. As you see, we have our home page, but now as you see, our tailwind is not working. So if you roll back in our previous application, you see there we keep one file here. So that's our source folder, that's our UI, that is the index.cs. I'm gonna grab that file, I'm gonna put it here, and I'm gonna rename that file with the TypeScript with the Nextjs parameter, should be globals.css. And in the layout, I need to import that file. Okay, so how I'm gonna import, it should be in the top, import should be globals.css. So let's keep the save and just provide a reload here. I think it should work. Yeah, you see, it's working. So now we have a layout, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrap that layout. As you see, if we just we will use the same component we use for the vitejs. I'm gonna close the others, and here I'm gonna just grab this layout here. So let's just go and grab that, and I'm gonna cut this, and then I'm gonna pass that layout. Okay, so as soon as I post just the paste the layout, as you see, there is a lot of error is coming here, and that could be probably happening because in that layout you see we use that why the React hot toast is not coming. So I think I'm gonna reload my terminal because I think some of the installation is happened but the file is not merged with that. Okay, so now what I need to do, as you see in the toaster, I use the toaster, the header. Okay, so let's just comment the header. If I comment the header if I can see and get the footer. Okay, footer also not coming. That's probably because we use the link. No, footer is coming. You see, we grab the footer, but we okay, let's roll back to footer. The image is not showing up, so we're gonna make that footer.tsx. And how you can find the file, this file is available here in the UI, so you can just roll back to that. So in that file image, I'm gonna use the image from the next image, not the normal image. So here let's make that import image from next image. Okay, it's saved. Okay, that's should be the properties of that. I think it should start spin up. Okay, as you see, that is started. So within this parameter we're gonna change a lot of other things. Now let's just grab in the header. If we go in the header, you see our application is getting blank. Okay, first thing first, if we roll back on the top, you see we use the use effect use state hook for that. So we need to make that as use client, you know, by default or our server client. But if we're using the client side library as well as the state hooks, at that time we need to create it as use client. So you feel free to go in the documentation and you can just search in that use client. Okay, so I think client components, yeah. So now you can understand a bit more about here why we need to use the use client and other properties. So within that, also feel free to go and come explore a bit in the Next.js, but for these applications I'm gonna just go with that parameter. So in that here, as you see, we use that link from the next link, but that next link link from the React Router DOM for our previous application. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the link from my next link, which is going to be give us from the next link. Okay, and it will be not 2, it should be href, otherwise it will not work. So I'm gonna copy that h2 to href. As you see, we use several link here. Okay, also for the favorite, for the cart, and as well as for the categories portion, and see almost lots of places we use that. Okay, then what else we should appear is that we make it use client, we prefer to provide the link. Okay, so now what else it could be? Okay, base name, that should not be. Okay, just keep a reload here. Let's see what's the next error is appearing, and there could be a multiple error because we are using a lot of other parameter here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna okay, still error, array for each href express string. Okay, href, where we are using href again. I think if we just search for the link href, oh sorry, should be href. Any more href is available? Okay, we provide the href. Yeah, that's cool. And as you see, our properties is appearing. So we grab these things. If we make, it will collapse because you know that the same parameter we are using the navigation which not be used. So we'll look up that. So first thing, let's go in the header in the top by which we are not seeing the image. So we need to remove all the image and we need to import it from our next image. Okay, so after dealing with the next image, it will start providing the image. Please use new operator. Why? I think I imported properly. Where is that? Let's go in the top. Should be next image. Okay, image is coming as logo called as a function. Okay, I am a GE and we are providing the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna just okay, I think we miscorporate something. Image, so at header, image is not defined. Okay, image is not defined. Actually it is defined, it's just my editor is taking time to update. You see, it's defined, it's perfect. So now here, after this portion, we need to grab this categories section. And from where we're gonna grab that? If we just roll back and if we go in the pages here and we see our app.tsx, we have this portion, this much we need to grab it from here. I'm gonna remove this comment from this portion. So we need to grab this entire thing, and where we gonna inject it, because as you see, I already injected this in my layout, so this will be applicable for all my pages. So these other components I need to bring it within my page here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just keep that things, and also I'm gonna comment it. So I'm gonna reveal one by one. Okay, so first I need to get that banner categories, which will be to bring back all the banners. And let's just roll back to my banner categories portion, banner categories, and here in the banner categories, still you see we use the use effect and use it. Most probably you will get that properties regarding the link and regarding that use client. So I'm gonna right now I will just go with use client for the full component. Later I'm gonna show you also how you can only make the client side component, which is you just require, not other parameter. Okay, not entire application, only the portion you require. And as you see, we use that link from DOM. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna search for link, and that link need to be imported from, now as we are using that, should be from next link, and it will be also that href. Okay, so how many link we have? We have, yeah, only one link. Okay, hit save. Let's see if it's working or not. So after saving, we need to also save in the page, otherwise it will not work. Okay, just give it a little bit time because it need to compile for the first time. You see, okay, it's working, but not the way it should work. It's working, you see, it's there, properties is there, but it's not matching some way. So what we need to do, we need to go and see in which the app. Okay, that's the banner categories. We put the main configuration tab, and then why in the page is not working? Let's just put class name. We want to see BG rate of 200. So the background, it should appearing. Okay, we have that, so means our div is getting accessories. So what is just giving the problem? The problem is coming, it should be appearing from somewhere. I think you see the image, that image we need to provide from our next image. And also we need to define, if we save it, let's see how, you see the item.name and other parameter. Just hit reload. Let's see if the image is getting resolved. Okay, okay, we need to configure that. We need to just go and grab that properties for that within height, and that because when we are dealing with that properties, so we are getting the images from like the third-party properties. So how we can do that? So first thing, we need to provide an width and height. So for this image, I'm going to provide a width of 100 and the height of 100. So after providing width and height, let's see what's more error is coming. Okay, it's compiling again. Okay, now you see in our next config.mjs, we need to configure some parameters because these images is coming from our i.pb.co, means from our backend database. So what we need to do, we need to just roll back to our index.mjs file. So sorry, next config.mjs file, and here for the images I need to provide the domain setup, so it will be an object. From here I'm going to go with the remote patterns, which will be an array, and from here we will take an object by which we're going to provide some of the protocol, like which protocol I'm going to grab that, take the image should be this one, and also the host name, which should be i.ibb.co. Hit save, and once you're saving this page, like say in that particular page here in the next .config.js, in that file you need to close your terminal, that open that's fine, but right now it's still configuring. When it's starting itself, as you see, just hit the reload, it will give me the proper result. But first thing, you need to wait a bit to compile it everything. This problem can be happen. As you see, we are using, I think we are using everything in a proper way, but some way it's just giving one error. So I think that one import we need to configure here. If we just close others, as you see, so if we just roll back to our app, in the app, you see, that's the one we are defining in the app. So you need to copy that, and then we need to paste that style here, because that's the issue is happening. It's not getting the style, so it's starting to get to entire pages. As you see, once I grab the style, so now we can see our application is up and running, and we can see the category. If we click, it will go to redirect, but we didn't create the page yet, so it will not go in anywhere. So now how we can go and grab the other properties? Let's go in the, not in the app, we should be running back to our pages. So should be page.tsx. I'll go in the backward, so I will get the home banner, so it will be my home banner. So let's start to create it. I'm gonna just import everything, so the categories, also the product list, discounted banner, and that block. So now let's uncomment one by one. So here it will show up the banner, which is going to be our particular banner of this. So let's just roll back to banner. Let's see if we are misspelling something. No, it's everything. Yeah, everything is cool, but we need to redefine that our image property, as the images should be coming from the next images. That's one parameter. And also in that link button, if we go back here, in the link button, as you see, that link is coming from that React router DOM, which we need to get from that our next link, and also you need to provide that href. Okay, so that's one. And if we go in the home banner again, so basically what you need to do is to ensure that you are just giving everything properly. That's it. So as you see, once I did that, it's working. There is no other problem with that. So if we just make that highlighted errors and categories, okay, highlights, so in the highlights it should be coming up this categories product. Okay, let's roll back to the highlights. Of course, we are grabbing the data as we are using the use effect. Later on, we can also fetch in the server side, but we will configure it later on. First, we will just migrate. Okay, so use client. And after using the use client, anything more is required. That link should be changed. So I'm gonna remove that. That link should not appear in that way. So it should be also that link going to come from that next link, and instead of 2 it should be href. Okay, cool. It should get started properly. Okay, UI use client, so the server components by default we use the use client for sure. Okay, we use the use client, but same, oh sorry, it should not be that, should just space, that's my bad. Okay, it's reloading and compiling, so let's just go and see. Okay, compiled. Now after this portion, as you see, it will appear, but in the highlights, did we have the image? Did we replace that? Okay, we have the link, we have the background. Okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. So means it's working. So now we need to work with that categories. Okay, go inside the categories, of course, use effect, use hook, so that should be use client, and also for the link should be appearing as the next link, so it will be next link. Instead of to, it will be href. Okay, so the two. Okay, cool. And instead of this image, we will provide that our image tag, image. Okay, so need to import also, need to import from the next image. If we come back here, you see the categories is coming. I'm gonna just replace with that image name. So as you see, our image is started. And okay, I think we are good. No, we need to provide the width and height. So I'm going to provide a width of 200 and height of 200. And after that, there is one more property, is that product list. We need to generate the product list as is supposed to be. As you see, in that product list should be giving all the products. So yeah, our category is okay. Now let's grab the product list, go to the product list section. Of course, there is a lot of things going to be happen. Okay, we need to go back to our pagination, and in the pagination we use client here, as it's going to be a client side library. And for that properties, let's see, image use client directive top of the file. Okay, what else in the product list? So that is our pagination, use client we provided. And now we need to go in a separate properties. First we will work with that our product card. So in that product card, what else we used? Okay, so in that product card, if we go in the product side name, okay, I think everything looks cool, but why is giving the error? So you need to find that. So that's the pagination here. And in the pagination, okay, okay, so pagination is looks a bit fine. So we get all the configuration and data. So now problem can be arises in the product card. Why? Because in the product card, once we click, we are passing, you see, we are using the navigation. So instead of navigation, we will use that use we can use that use route. Yeah, use router, which going to coming up from the next navigation. Instead of navigation, I'm gonna pass that as it a router. So should be use router. Instead of navigation, we can just router dot push. So you'll push that within this directory, so it will have no contradiction. Okay, and I'm gonna remove that router. And what else we can be changed? So okay, prices is provided, because I made that as use client, so all other properties should follow. Okay, so the route is actually on that use client segment. Okay, so let's see, we are missing something somewhere. So what we are missing, that's the pagination properties. Okay, I think we are missing. If we just let's just comment the product, let's give a p tag hello, just to see if it's having the problem within the product card or not. So let's just see that. No, it's not in the product. Okay, add the use client directive to the top of the file. Okay, some one of the file which we need to provide that use client. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you see the link we are using here, which need to be provided from that next link here. Okay, there is something, you know, one or two properties can be we missed. We need to go and see. And then because use client not required here, because we are using everything in the pagination, right? Okay, it's started. Let's see if we are right or wrong. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Yeah, that's the one, because I was right on this portion, because we are using that use client on the pagination, so it's supposed to work like that. Okay, let's roll back here. So now what is going to happen if we just start add a product? Either it's going to come or not. So if we just check, if we click, it will come, because you see our other parameters like the store we use, that store is working properly. Okay, so if we just roll back here in the lib on the store, that's actually work. It will work. Firebase, other parameters, you don't need to change anything from there, just need to go and grab that properties. Okay, so in that here I'm gonna grab these two. One will be the discounted banner. Just hit the save, and in the discounted banner, is anything required, I'm gonna replace the link here. I think that's the thing only need to replace, so it should be our next link, and instead of 2 it's going to provide that href. Okay, and same thing, href. Okay, what else? Anything? So hit save. I think it will be fine. Also in the blog, so let's roll back to the blog. What we use the use effect, as we are getting the data from there. So use client. Okay, we use the use client, and I think pretty much it. Instead of that, okay, it's compiling or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's compiling, but getting nothing yet. What could be the error? Okay, now it's getting. So of course the images is not appearing. So for the images, what I'm gonna do, instead of that image, I'm gonna use the image tag from that our next image. As I'm using the image from the item, should be providing that a width. So I will just put a width of 500, height of 500. That's it. And I'm gonna grab these properties here, and I'm gonna just go. I think this blog have only single image, so that's the image. Now need to get that within the banner. So discounted banner, and in the discounted banner I'm gonna provide the same. You can just maximize the width and height according to your need. I will just keep that same, so that I will just left out that error. So that's 1, and that should be 2. And the small logo images. Okay, okay, I think one more. It's saved. After saving, we are definitely ensuring that image should appear. You see, okay, the images is appearing, but there is some of the because the image properties is very big. So what I'm gonna do, it's in that, if we provide that instead of 5, it's 200. Is it working? No. So okay, that should be in the top layer on the discounted banner here. Yeah, that's the one. So if I go and grab the 200 properties, no, yeah, 200 is going to be okay. So I think we can make that object cover, means it gonna fit within the cover properties. You see, that's the one. And here also the same for this image, instead of 500 I'm gonna provide that image as 200, and also you're gonna make that object cover, just to eradicate that. Okay, cool. Now you can redefine the sizes according to your needs. If I make the 300, it will just come up a bit more within the side, you see. So it depends on your needs. You can put the height weight. That's it. So now within this parameter, we are having our front page. You see, that's the front page which we are talking about. So we got all our front page is done. Now we need to grab the pages parameter, how we can initialize the pages, right? So what I'm going to do in this app, I'm going to create the separate file format. So you see, I'm going to just get the folder and I'm going to get that cancel page, cancel cancel. Oops, it will be cancel, and here I need to grab that the name of that page.tsx, which it will get my cancel page. So what I'm gonna do in here, if we put ls, as you see, I'm now, it should be within my client directory. Let's put cd src, and within src I'm gonna go within my app. Okay, app. And here I'm going to define all other properties. First, if I just go inside, I need to create all the pages. So it should be make directory, and I'm going to create the cart. I'm going to create category. I'm going to grab favorite, or instead of, I'm going to just go to find one more properties, which going to be card. So that within the card, I'm going to create the page. Later on, I'm going to demonstrate all other pages. So that should be the cancel page. Cancel page. Okay, I'm gonna close everything from here. Let's roll back in the cart. I'm gonna make that page.tsx rafce. So now here I'm gonna make that as cart page. Okay, so if I come here and click on the cart, that's my previous application. You see the cart should be coming here. If I click on the cart, let's see if, yeah, you see the cart page is appearing. So in that cart, remember we have one page here. We have all the pages is appearing here, that cart page. So what I'm gonna do, instead of the other page, I'm gonna grab cut all, I'm gonna paste it here, and instead of cart, or you can just make a name of cart, it will do the same. So here I need to configure my import, as we are using the separate import segment, and also I need to configure my link. So now let's grab the store. Okay, store from the lib, and also need to grab that cart product. Okay, cart product, what's that? Okay, cart product, need to grab the container, and cart product should be coming here. Need to grab the formatted price, need to grab, it's already here. And then what else? Need to go and grab the checkout button, and should be appearing the link, and instead of 2 it should be href. And of course we are using the client side segment, use effect, use state hook, so we need to make that as use client. Hit the save. Let's see what it is providing to us. Should be providing some error or some other properties, but let's see how it's delving with that. You see, okay, it's the structured manner because we are having issue. So let's go in the cart product, and you see we are using the link here. We should not using that link, we should use our next link, and instead of 2 it should be href. And also that image should be getting the image from the next image. Also it will provide a width, should be 500, height should be 500, and what else? Okay, yeah, very cool. As you see, now passing us to some error, but cool, we'll just go and fix that because our state is have been gone. So we're gonna create a get 2-3 products here, go in the cart. You see, okay, our product is appearing, means we're good to go. So that's the way you can eradicate all the pages. So these pages, you need to grab this data here, right? That's the things only. So what I'm gonna do, instead of getting that pages here, I'm gonna just grab my pages from my previous app. So okay, should be in the app. Yeah, that's the pages. So we have the category pages where we are passing the category data. We have the favorite pages, a similar parameter. You just need to follow through, need to check the import, and that's it. Because all the pages should be available here, all the components is available here, and you just need to go grab it and check the import. That's it. So now if I just go and coming here, if I go in the shop, should be appearing with the shop page and getting just providing the data. You see the distracted manner is still happening. It's because of the some of the parameters with the products collection. So we are missing some of the properties. We will fix that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is to close all, and here in the pages, okay, let's just go in the category page. Let's see if we can see that. Okay, we are going to the category, so it should be category and getting here. So here we are having the problem, means there is okay, we need to check the type. Okay, because and this happening because in the config file we change the setup tsconfig.json, we introduce the path, right? So we need to get the import like that. So it should be at the rate import. So I'm gonna import from lib, and should be coming as loading, also the container. Okay, product card need to provide, need to grab that product props, hit save. What else we are missing? Let's see. Okay, we are missing something here. So category ID, so we are passing the ID from the parameter. Okay, we are missing probably the ID here. So let's roll back to our header. Not in the header, so let's go in that our page here. From the page we need to make that banner categories. So here we need to configure that. So let's see what we are passing from there. We are okay, we are passing the id.base. So if we go in our category page.tsx, so we are defining the params. What we are missing? I think we need to go and check within the component what we are missing here in the category filters. Okay, we have that React Router DOM link which need to replace, of course. So should be next link, and instead of 2 should be href. Okay, what else is there? Then we need to also go, the product card is okay, what is the container should be okay. Okay, still reloading. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that was the link for that's making the problem here. Others it was fine. So now if we go to all other pages there, if we just make it happen here, so if we go back to the blog working, if we make in the single product, let's go within the single product parameter, click in the product. Okay, you see the add to cart button, so there is the problem. So we will go in that first there, we will go in the product segment. Okay, in that product ID page, so should be product and then the ID, then the page. So now you see that's the import segment we need to change. So to import segment is providing the error, so we will just go and grab that too. If it's working, then we're gonna bring the rest of that. So it should be cart button, no suggestion, add to cart button we didn't create it. How come? Should be appearing add to cart button. So which name we are providing here? Add to cart, add to cart btn. Okay, I think the name is different and should be, or okay, should be product features. Did we have the feature products? We doesn't have that, that's why I'm just commented that. Let's see after commenting if it's still giving us the error or not. Okay, yeah, now we need to change the other parameters here. the import portion, by which we need to check the imports. Okay, we need to get my loading here, need to get my container here, also need to grab those price tag, and then for the formatted price also need to grab that product payment image. Okay, so now let's see if we are having that. Yeah, the product props need to appear too. Config, yes. Get data, yes. Okay, I think that much is the configuration, you see. Okay, cool. If we click, product is added. If we roll back to go in the backwards, we can come in the backwards. So let's see view all products if it's working. Okay, that's also perfectly working. So what we are missing here, if we just click any of the products, yeah, that's the one we are missing. Okay, but we should be having that, right? Because in the previous file, as we are having that, it should be appearing there. But if we are missing that, the product feature, we don't have that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and grab that product feature. That's it. So in the product feature, we are just passing that product parameters. That's it. So here, okay, I think now we will have that too. Okay, cool. So now that's the pretty much all of these parameters. So now we need to start working with that for that API portion and other properties. Go and do that things like grab that to make that clone of this application, then finish this portion. Once you finish, let me know in the comments below. Now all the pages is integrated, so this the same thing you need to go and integrate. After integrating the pages, we will go and start with our API portion, how we can start creating API within our next application, and by which how we can migrate all the APIs. So feel free to go and just finish this entire parameters and let me know in the comments below where you are having a problem, how you are stacking there. If you just make search, you see everything is working, so it's cool. So feel free to reach me and I'm gonna show you how you can easily do other parameters, and hope you can complete it, and I will see you in next video.